a medial wall and a lateral wall, and the two medial walls are apart from each other in the distance between 25 millimeters. Each bony orbit contains an eyeball. Contains eyeball whose anterior 1/6 is formed by cornea, and there is the two medial walls are parallel. The two lateral walls, if you place them backward, they are meeting at a point and making an angle of about 90 degrees. Making an angle of about 90 degrees. In each orbit, there is a canal which is called an optic canal. Through which the optic nerve passes and the ophthalmic artery passes. This optic canal is about 3 to 9 millimeters in length. In the upper part, they are about 30 millimeters apart, and in the posterior part, they are 25. The posterior end of the optic canal are 25 millimeters apart. If you cut a section, the shape of the optic canal, it is oval in the upper part, if you cut a PS, circular in the middle part, and it is transverse in shape in the beginning. So what we will find that the two bony orbits are pyramidal in shape. They have got several boundaries about which I am just going to tell you. And each orbit contains a very important structure, that is eyeball. If you look, there are two poles of the eyeball, an anterior pole and a posterior pole. The extreme convex portion of the anterior pole, the posterior extreme portion of the posterior pole. Right? If you look running across in the middle, there is a equator. So, the equator of the eyeball. This equator divides the eyeball into an anterior portion and a posterior portion. The anterior 1/6 of the eyeball is formed by cornea. The posterior 5/6 is formed by sclera. The anterior 1/5 is formed by cornea. Anterior 1/6 by cornea, and this posterior 1/6, 5/6 is formed by sclera, or the white of the eyeball. The sclera is the white of the eyeball. So what I mean to tell you that there are two bony sockets, right? And each bony socket has got a base, it has got an apex inside. So they are pyramidal in shape, right? And this base is called as orbital margin. And the apex is towards the optic foramen. Now the optic foramen must have been told you while we were discussing about, you were taught by the other teachers about the various foci. So there are two optic canals here leading to orbital cavity. And this surface of the orbit, if you cut the skull, you will find this is the basis crania interna, which is divisible into three parts. Basis crania interna is divisible into three parts. With the anterior clinoid process, we will draw some shading in the superior border of the featureless part of the temporal bone. This is the gular foramen, and you have the foramen ligament. So you will find there are three steps in the basis perineum externa. Basis perineum interna. One is the anterior cranial fossa, middle cranial fossa, and posterior cranial fossa. Posterior cranial fossa. So this portion, this is the lesser wing of the sphenoid, and we have a fissure which is called as superior orbital fissure between the superior or between the lesser wing and the greater wing of the sphenoid. And you have the optic canal from there here. Optic canal. So optic canal forms the apex of the, if you look at this structure, it is pyramidal in shape, having a base and an apex. You will find that pyramidal structure having a base and an apex. The apex is optic canal. Optic canal through which passes the optic nerve and the ophthalmic artery. Optic nerve and the ophthalmic artery. So what I'm just trying to tell you that there is these bony sockets which are two in number, are pyramidal in shape, having a base and an apex. The base is this, apex is this, right? It has got a base and an apex. And if you, I've just got this one, so that only the orbital cavity is visible. There are base. So this is the base which has got a supraorbital margin, a lateral margin, a lower margin, and a medial margin. The superior boundary forms frontal bone. You can see this is the frontal bone which is forming the superior boundary as well as the upper part of the medial and lateral boundary, as well as the upper part and the medial boundary of the medial lateral wall of the upper part of the lateral wall of the bony organ. So frontal forms the upper margin, the medial margin, and the upper part and the lateral. Right? That's the upper boundary. The lateral wall is formed by zygomatic bone. The lateral wall is formed by, if you draw this or you complete this orbit, then you will find the orbit is covered by an L-shaped fissure, which is called as superior and inferior orbital fissure. Superior and inferior orbital fissure, and आवाज नहीं है माइक लॉग उनको ब्लॉग मत. Are you able to hear? Are you able to hear? Are you able to hear me? Thumbs up. So what you will find that the upper boundary Upper boundary is called as supraorbital margin. It's called as supraorbital margin. The base is formed by frontal. It is formed by the zygomatic, and this is maxilla. So the lateral wall formed by frontal and by zygomatic bone. The lower margin by zygomatic and maxilla. Zygomatic maxilla. The medial margin is again formed by frontal and the frontal crosses the maxilla. So, what I find, just to tell you in diagrammatic representation, that this is the bony orbit. This one is superior orbital fissure. This is inferior orbital fissure. You have the lacrimal. This is the frontal. The lacrimal bone is up to this place. Then you have the bulla aquadelli, and you have the body of the sphenoid. Body of the sphenoid. This is the frontal. This is the greater wing of the lesser wing of the sphenoid. Lesser wing of the sphenoid. What you will find that the superior orbital margin is formed by frontal, the medial margin is by frontal and maxilla, the lateral boundary is formed by zygomatic and frontal, and the inferior boundary is formed by maxilla and zygomatic. Maxilla and zygomatic. So that is the that is the orbital margin or the base. The apex is formed by this optic foramen. In the depth, we have a conical shape. You can see the orbit is conical, having a pyramidal shape, a base and a apex. The apex is towards the optic canal. The apex is towards the optic canal. So what you will try to what I try to tell you is that this is maxilla. This one is palatine. Lacrimal bone, which exhibits a crest, and between this crest is called as posterior lacrimal crest. I'll tell you why I am telling you. This is the anterior lacrimal. Between the anterior lacrimal, so what I'm going to tell you about the walls of the orbit. You have the base, you have the apex. The boundaries or the walls, it has got a roof. It has got a roof. It has got a floor. It has got a median wall. It has got a lateral wall. Roof, you can see, roof, this one is the orbital plate of frontal. Orbital plate of frontal. The roof is frontal. Are you able to hear or not? Still not here? Able to hear? Wait, we are doing something. Hello? Hello? Are you able to hear? Just raise your hand. No, there. Now you are able to hear. Yeah, okay. So I'll repeat that the walls of the, I was talking about, yeah, I was talking about the walls of the orbit. I was talking about the walls of the orbit. You can see this is the bony orbit wherein you have a roof, a floor, a medial wall and a lateral wall. सुनाई नहीं पड़ रहा? अब तो आ रहा है शायद। और तुम लोग सुनाई पड़ रहा है? देखो आ रही है आवाज? So you have the medial wall, the roof, the floor, and the lateral wall. The medial wall is formed by maxilla, frontal process of maxilla, by lacrimal, and by ethmoid. Plus, you have the body of the sphenoid. The floor is formed by maxilla, by zygomatic by the pyramidal process, the pyramidal process of palatine. The lateral wall is formed by zygomatic and by the. So you have the roof, you have the medial wall, you have the lateral wall, you have the floor, you have the lateral wall. And the roof is formed by frontal and lesser wing of the sphenoid. This is the optic foramen. This is the optic foramen or the apex of the eyeball. Why I am telling you about the orbit, bony orbit? Because unless you understand the bony orbit, you will not be able to understand the extraocular muscles, whether they are involuntary or voluntary. So I hope is it clear the walls of the orbit? Everybody, please raise your hand. Walls of the orbit, is it clear? Is it clear? Raise your hand. So if you look at the bony socket, it has got a medial wall, it has got a lateral wall, it has got a floor, it has got a roof. The roof is this one. You see, which you can see from above like this. The roof is this one, right? Roof. You have the floor. That is, you have the medial wall, the lateral wall, you have base, and you have the apex. Now, अब तो आ रही नहीं आ रही. So you will find the roof is here in the anterior cranial fossa is the orbital plate of frontal. So these are the walls of the orbit. These are the walls of the orbit. The orbit contains muscles, it contains connective tissue, it contains nerve, it contains vessels, right? So you have the most important structure uh, is the connective tissue and the muscles. You will be able to understand what are the other contents of the. So eyeball, if you look at the eyeball, I have told you, the eyeball is spherical shape, Anterior 1/5, 1/6 is formed by cornea. The posterior 5/6 is by sclera, and you have an anterior pole and a posterior pole, and a line which is called as equator. So some muscles are attached in front of the eyeball. You will find that the eyeball posterior part is divided into 4 quadrants. Behind the equator, if you look at the posterior wall, it is divided into 4 quadrants, and about 2.5 millimeter, 1.5 millimeter to the center, there is a spot. There is a spot where the optic nerve enters the eyeball. Where the optic nerve enters the eyeball. And this portion is called as optic disc. A little medial optic disc surrounded by blood vessels, surrounded by nerve, posterior, long and short basal ciliary nerve. A little medial to this, there is another drop, another spot. There is another spot, and this spot is give passage to the arteries which are entering the eyeball, and then dividing into an upper branch and a lower branch. So there are 4 quadrants in the posterior wall of the eyeball. There is a blind spot, and there is this what this is macula lutea, and this one is the optic. The eyeball. So these are the few things which are important about the eyeball. Then we pass on to the, once you have understood the orbit. So what we have seen that the orbit is pyramidal in shape, having a base, an apex, a medial wall, a lateral wall, a roof, a floor, a roof, a floor, right? So medial walls are parallel. The lateral walls are not parallel, but when you place them back, they form 90-degree angles with each other. And you have the visual axis and the optical axis, which are making an angle of about 23 degrees. The maximum distance between the 2 medial walls, which are parallel, is about 25 millimeters. The optic canals are these ones through which the optic nerve and the ophthalmic artery passes, through which the optic nerve and the optic canal passes, the ophthalmic artery passes. It is about 30 millimeters apart, and this is 25 millimeters, 30 mm apart, this is 25 millimeters apart. The upper part is oval in cross section, the middle part is circular, and the initial part is transverse. Then what apart from this, what you will find that between the lesser wing and the greater wing, and between the greater wing and maxilla, there are two fissures which are called as superior orbital fissure and inferior orbital fissure. There are two fissures which are known as superior orbital fissure and a inferior orbital fissure. There are two fissures. This one. This is the superior orbital fissure, and this one is inferior orbital fissure. Now this one is superior orbital fissure. So what you will find that the orbit is communicating with several spaces through the orbital margin. Through the orbital margin, it is communicating with the face. Through the orbital margin, it's communicating with the face. With the nasolacrimal groove, or the lacrymal fossa which leads into nasolacrimal groove. It communicates with nose. It communicates with nose or the nasal cavity. With the optic canal, it communicates with the middle cranial fossa. Through superior orbital fissure, it again communicates with the middle cranial fossa. Through inferior orbital fissure, its medial part communicates with the pterygopalatine fossa, and the lateral part communicates with the infratemporal fossa. The medial part is communicating with the pterygopalatine fossa, and it is communicating with pterygopalatine fossa, and through this it communicates with the infratemporal fossa. Infratemporal fossa. The lateral margin of the orbit, if you look, the lateral margin of the orbit, the medial margin. The lateral margin gets tubercle, an elevation which is called as tubercle of Wittnall. Tubercle of Wittnall. In the anterolateral part, there is a fossa. In the anterolateral part, there is a fossa for lacrimal gland. Fossa for lacrimal gland. In the anterolateral part of the groove, there is a groove or a bony cartilaginous spicule, which is called depression, which lodges trochlea of superior orbital muscle. Trochlea. And in the lower and medial part, the nasolacrimal groove and the depression of inferior orbital muscle. Nasolacrimal groove and this impression for inferior oblique muscle. So these are the bony landmarks which you can see in the orbit apart from these two fissures, that is the superior orbital fissure and the inferior orbital fissure. There are four structures in four corners. One is for the lacrimal gland, one for the trochlea, one for the impression for inferior oblique. Then you have the nasolacrimal groove, and you have a tubercle which is called as tubercle of Whitnall in the lateral wall. Tubercle of Whitnall in the lateral wall. These are the bony features present in the orbit. The superior orbital fissure, just to what about the orbital? If you look at superior orbital and inferior orbital fissure are more or less continuous with each other in the form of letter N. Right? And at the inferior, this superior orbital fissure is between the greater between the and this margin is between the lesser wing and the greater wing. And at the greater wing there is a tubercle. Attached to this tubercle there is a ring. There is a ring. A fibrous ring. There is a ring which is called as fibrous ring of zinc. Annulus fibrous ring of zinc. Annulus fibrous ring of zinc.